because I've gotten your blood off my hands. I want to announce to you that the period of grace that God has given for America and this Western world to repent is over. And the full chastisement of Almighty God is going to come down on all of you. I'm speaking like this inside America with no arms and no army. But I warned you 15 years ago in the first anniversary of the Million Man March in front of the United Nations before over 40,000 people, and we called all the nations to atonement for murder, violence, and war. But the UN has not atoned. Murder is on the increase, violence is on the increase, war is on the increase, and the sale of weapons of war and the making of even more horrible weapons of war is on the increase. So you're in it now. You can't escape. The die is set. The judgment of God is here. And that which you depend on for your existence, he's turning it against you. I warned you then, and now this is the final warning. You did not heed it, so this is absolutely your end.
So we don't need you to write my history. You won't even be alive when my history is told. Hell, you do your writing now, baby. But when my history is written down in the generations, you won't even be here to smell the heat from the pen. Now, a man that talks like me is either crazy or he knows God. And you can choose whatever one you want. I don't sound like a madman, except to the weak and cowardly among you. I have God with me. And what I speak from my mouth, he answers. When I told you at the UN, listen, that nature, the God of nature was going to come after you. Using wind and rain and hurricane, tornado, drought, famine. It's all coming. I said, China, you should have vetoed this. You in Russia. But since you didn't, you joined in the pain of your brothers. The next day, 1,800,000 Chinese in a flood. You check it out. I told them, soon you will see your governments in ruin. And some of you on the back of pickup trucks in chains, driving through the streets, and the people throwing stones and raw garbage at you. I hardly got the words out of my mouth. Britain in trouble. Damn. France in trouble. Berlusconi in Italy in trouble. Now look at your president locked in a fight. You think it's just the red states and the blue states? This is a civil war between crackers.
Did you see what happened in London? They had rainfall that they had not seen in 1,000 years. Did Elijah Muhammad say that there would be unusual rain? Well, wait, snow is coming. It's going to be unusual snow. Hail, wind, one calamity after another, and every calamity is going to get worse and worse. Tomorrow I will tell you about the food and the shortage of food and how soon there will be famine right here in America.
Some of you Negroes will sell our people out for just a little position with white people. You won't sell us out. You'll be buying your funeral. The future of our people is not to be compromised. It would be better that you would dropped in the bottom of the sea with a millstone around your neck to betray the legitimate aspirations of our people. We got to come out from among them. We got to leave Pharaoh. Leave him. The hell with him. Leave him. Force him to tell you, nigga, I ain't giving you nothing. If you put it on the table strong enough, he'll come out of his bag. See, today he's smiling. Hi, brother, how are you? See? But if you say, no, wait, no smile, no pat on the back. Yeah, let's talk about reparation here. See? Then you see him change. Face get red. He opened his mouth and these teeth turn into fangs. Horns come up. Say, now look, we'll give you a monument for the slaves. We'll even help you Negroes have a museum on the mall in Washington. But we'll be damned if we're going to give you anything. Say, well, fine. You're not going to give us nothing, and we're not going to give you nothing. We ain't joining your army. We're coming out of it. We ain't paying no taxes to support a system that's against us. Hell no. See, now you're throwing down the gauntlet. Now either God is real or we don't need him. God damn it, if God can't come to our defense, who the hell need a God that won't fight for us? Yeah! So all you scared to death niggas that think that God ain't real, we gonna prove that he's real, because we calling this cracker out. God damn it, come on out then. And if God be God, then stand up for us like you stood up for the children of Israel. Yes, sir. Come on. I don't represent no punk God. No, sir. No, sir. I represent a God that make rain, hail, snow, and earthquake. I represent a God that has power over the forces of nature. I represent a God that can turn men's minds to thinking and doing as he please. And he real, he ain't no damn spook. So all of you that fear the white man as a God beside Allah, get the hell over here. I'm willing to die for the righteousness and the freedom of black people. And I'm not no damn fool. Keep on your feet. This is a day of separation. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Y'all not gonna be together. That's right. Damn it, only those of us who are like-minded. Yes, sir. Who the hell wanna be with a black man? Come on now. Who's in love with his enemy? Go ahead. And faking like he's with us. Go ahead. Hey, you don't know me. That's sad. You've known me a long time, some of you. And when you hear them beating the hell out of me because I'm supposed to be an anti-Semite and a bigot, it would be really nice to hear your brother who applauds you behind the door say something out front that he's not the man that you all think he is. He's a lot better than that. Black journalists, you have a responsibility. Well, you know, we're journalists, and you know, we are supposed to have an opinion, but we're supposed to hide that, and we're not supposed to lean in this. Wait a minute. The only reason you got an NABJ is because you didn't feel you could express who you are, where you are. So you had to organize who you are so that you could be more effective where you are. Isn't that right? I would like to see democracy protected. Because in a free society, I don't have the right to holler fire in a crowded theater, except that there is a fire. In a democracy, every voice has a right to be heard and weighed. Listen. Because to label somebody, well, he's a hater, what does that mean? What does that really mean? He's a bigot. He's an anti-Semite. You mean to tell me with all the hatred, the bigotry, the anti-Semitism that is in this world, Louis Farrakhan now is the chief among all of that? You mean does truth not enter into this somewhere? If the man is telling the truth about what he says, whether it is critical of you, critical of me, critical of our people, critical of a government, critical of America, critical of Jews, critical of Christians, critical of Muslims, I have the right to say what I believe, and you have the right to record what I say as I say it, and don't mix it up. And if you are fair with me, then the public would see a truthful man, a sincere man, a committed man that wants to see his people free. And my people can never be free as long as thought control, mind manipulation is practiced by people in the media, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now don't invite me no more if you don't want me to talk to you like a brother that loves you and sees the value of this group. Don't get caught up in the Mercedes-Benz and the imaging and how you look on TV. Get caught up in what you mean to a democratic society and what you mean to a suffering people. It's sickening to turn on the news. What's the news? Murder, mayhem, violence, rape, fire, death. Don't you have anything else to report? You say, well, that's what the people want to hear. No. Listen. You have allowed the manipulation by advertisers. You could be in the middle of a great interview. If it's time for commercial, thank you very much. Commercial. It ain't about truth. It's not about informing the public. So what are you doing? Let me help you with that. See, look, don't bring Potok along. Bring the ADL, Mr. Foxman. Bring the presidents of the 12 Jewish organizations. Sit down in front of the world with us and our scholars, and we'll debate you, and I know you won't win. That's why you don't want to come on no show with me. Let me say this. I don't argue. I make a statement of fact. You can deal with it or leave it alone. But if you want a showdown, I'll call for it. You respond. Bring Mr. Foxman. Bring the 12 scholars of the Jewish presidents. Bring those who say we are anti-Semitic and arrange a national and international showdown. And let's see where the truth is. Yeah, we can be one, but all liars and deceivers got to be shown up and put down. And he's one of them.
And when you say he's one of them, you're speaking of?
He Potok, he Abraham Foxman, he the ADL, all of those that are condemning the nation, come on out and let's have a showdown. America is to be taken and destroyed by God. She is offered a window to get out of it. But she's arrogant and proud. She thinks that her power can protect her against the power of the Son of Man. He told me he was making me. He said, God has made me to take his place among the people, and I'm making you to take mine. Yeah, he said it. Yeah, he said it. Elijah Muhammad told me after Malcolm, he said, I'll never teach another minister like I taught Malcolm until I have thoroughly tried him. He was letting me know, don't expect nothing. I'm going to try you. And one day after many trials, I don't have time to take you through, he said these words to me. We're around the table. He said, brother, I did not make you, brother. I said, oh, yes, you did, dear apostle. He said, brother, I said, I did not make you. And I couldn't understand it because everything I knew is what he taught me. I said, but yes, sir, dear apostle, but you did make me. He said, who's the teacher? Shut me up. And he said, I've given you the same teaching that I've given everybody else. But only Allah could have shown you how to take the teaching and put it in the way that you put it. No, brother, I didn't make you. Allah made you for me. Now listen, I am his helper. And my Father that is on that wheel in power told me I had one more thing to do, and I could come again to the wheel, and he would allow me to see him face to face. I look forward to that meeting. He was telling me that on you, I'm going to lay the key. And whoever you bind on earth, I'm going to bind him in heaven. And whoever you loose on earth, I'm going to loose in heaven. He was telling me who I was and who I was to become. I'm just going to tell it today. Moses had a man with him who was his brother, Aaron. Aaron was a man that spoke eloquently. Moses had a stammering tongue.
Elijah Muhammad is that Moses, and I am his Aaron. Whether you believe it or not, both of us have authority to deal with Pharaoh, the modern government of America. That's why I speak with authority, because I have authority. And what comes out of my mouth, God will answer it. The Quran says, O messenger, deliver that which has been revealed to thee from thy Lord. And if you do it not, you have not delivered his message, and Allah will protect you from men. Surely Allah guides not the disbelieving people. It doesn't give me joy to warn you of things to come. It doesn't give me joy to tell you that the judgment of God has now entered America. A warner never warns hoping that the enemy will not heed the warning so that the punishment of God could afflict them. Messengers of God and warners from God always warn with hope that the people will hear, think, look at the signs, and make a determination to take the practical steps that will avoid the destruction that God had purposed. To the members of the press, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said 4 great judgments will be used to bring America down. These are judgments not by the hands of man. They are by the hand of him that we all believe is the creator of the heavens and the earth. And those 4 judgments are rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. Open your eyes and look at the increasing rain, hail, snow. There are several hundred earthquakes that have already come to America. Little small ones. I'm not talking about a little small one. God, when he sends a warner, the Quran says he seizes the people with distress and affliction that they might humble themselves. With Moses, he prayed that God would destroy the wealth of Pharaoh.
Perry Small, WVON. I was just, in your last remarks, you were talking about possible charges of sedition and treason. Have you heard anybody, or have you been contacted by any reliable sources that said that this might happen?
No.
What makes you make that statement?
Looking at the book.
Okay.
What book? Do you realize we're fulfilling prophecy right now? You don't have no black man in America that has an argument with the Jews but Farrakhan. Well, who in the Bible had the biggest argument with the Jews of that day? Was it not Jesus? I'm walking in the master's shoes. Take it or let it alone. Next question. Sure. Excuse me, yes, sir.
Yes, I'm Phil Rogers from Channel 5.
Yes, sir.
I wonder if you'd clarify the link you see between what is going on with Muammar Gaddafi and the possibility of a major earthquake in the United States.
Oh, yes. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that there were 4 great judgments. And the last of those judgments was earthquakes. And he told me that there would be one coming that would be so great. Not just one city would come down, many. Search the scriptures. When they hung Jesus out to dry, and on the day he gave up the ghost, what happened? A great earthquake. See, you're dealing with a man, I'm sorry, I'm not an insane, delusionist person. You're dealing with a man that you're going to have to deal with. And you can't deal with me the way you deal with your customary Negroes. You can't kill me like you did Malcolm and Martin and others. God won't allow that to happen. And the moment you move on me, God is going to move on you. And I'm talking about terrible disaster. Now, if you think I'm crazy, just breathe a little more. And when it happens, remember, well, when God come through, ask Allah what he advocates. See, God is the biggest killer of anybody that ever been on the planet. And none of you have ever charged God with being a terrorist, but when he come through Mississippi, see, won't he terrorize the population? Have you ever seen those tornadoes? Looking like dancing girls in long skirts.
Right.
Watch them when they come down and the energy that's in them and what they tear in their path. Have you ever seen a tidal wave? Water 60 feet high moving at many miles an hour coming over the land, tearing up everything. That's terror. Go ahead. Have you ever seen hailstones? Not the size of golf balls, but blocks of ice coming out of the sky. Have you ever been troubled by ants and boll weevils and locusts and killer bees? See, when God get after your raggedy backside, he'll terrorize you with gnats to show you how little of nothing you are with your big guns. He put a gnat inside your ear and drive your silly self crazy. This is God. Mississippi needs to be acquainted with a killer God. You've been talking about this loving, peaceful, forgiving God. I want to acquaint you with a God that come to kill. That's right. You said it right. Allahu Akbar. And everybody gonna be saying that in a few days. God is great. See, the only way you gonna submit and do what's right, God is gonna have to kill you. You really don't believe that there's a God that answers, that there's a God that takes account. 48? Hell no. It's a countless number of souls that have been drowned in the swamps and rivers and lakes. It's a countless number that have died in Mississippi at the hands of vicious murderers who never thought that God would bring them to a day of reckoning. I'm almost finished. I'm going to get out of Mississippi if it's the will of Allah. I'm not going to hang around. And I tell you, you're going home and just watch. I would love to make Mississippi an example.
Yes, sir. Yes.
See?
Yes, sir. We in a card, Brother Minister.
Even if you're not, it don't make no difference. I'm glad you are in accord, but it don't make any difference if you're not. I'm in accord with God, and He's in accord with me. And my will and His will is one will. And you'll see.
Yes, that's right.
Think that this is some joke. You think that Farrakhan is just a big mouth running around America talking, huh? You think that Elijah Muhammad was some plaything for you, huh? That you can spit on him and talk about him like a dog and play with him. You didn't think that there was a day that you got to come to a reckoning? You at it now. You at it. Mississippi. He was asleep in the boat, and the winds came up as they're gonna blow in Mississippi in a few hours. I'm asking God in the name of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to bring His wrath down on Mississippi. I'm asking God, I want you to know that my words are not going to be empty. As fast as I speak them, God is going to answer. Death and destruction is coming to Mississippi. I want all of you to know that Farrakhan is not in America to talk no crap. Farrakhan is not no blowhard. I am backed by God and I'm from God, and death is going to visit Mississippi. You will learn to leave black people alone all over America. But why not start in Mississippi? So I stand in front of 86 nations and I tell them what I got from Elijah Muhammad on the wheel. And let me tell you, I warned President Reagan and I warned Secretary of State Schultz, leave Brother Gaddafi alone. The next day, an American jet from the carrier Nimitz flew over and got shot down. And there I am in Libya. I just know it's on. But I'm wondering why there's no more planes coming. And it gave us a chance to get out just in time. And we went from Libya to Saudi Arabia. And while I am in Arabia, they have an English language newspaper called Arab News. We pick up the Arab News on the front page. It says a bright, shiny object
was over the Mediterranean. See, the aircraft carrier Nimitz is so technologically profound, but the wheel messed up its stuff. And it had to come back to Florida to be fixed, and another plane, aircraft carrier like that had to take its place in the Gulf of Suez. Now I'm in Saudi Arabia, I pick up the paper. They bombed Benghazi, they bombed Tripoli. I told them that they were going to bomb his communication center, and that's where he was living. And he moved out of the room that he was in a fraction of a second before a guided missile blew up his house, killed his baby daughter, but he was spared. Now I'm in Saudi Arabia when this happened.